Hey guys, so this is Zara for Trans Youth. And this week's topic, because you know me, when I miss a week, I always cover the last week's topic that I missed and this week's topic, so that's what I'm doing again. Last week's topic is if I could go back in time, what would I tell a younger version of myself? This is this is also a topic that I've covered recently on my own channel. If you watch ZaraHarley, um, when I went back in time, I would tell myself, because I don't know if you've heard my backstory, you would know that I've known I was trans since I was 8, but I basically since I was like at least like I don't know if it was exactly 8, but around that age. Um, but I hid it for years and years and years and just tried to like push it aside. I would tell myself not to do that. I would tell myself from as young as I knew I was trans to start living my life happily. Don't be afraid. Be yourself. Um, and you're always gonna have haters no matter what, but you just gotta kind of tell them to fuck off and yeah. I can only imagine like people tell me that I do this too much, like with the what ifs and all that, and I know I do probably. But like if I had started transitioning from like say age 8, where would I be now? I'd be so much farther in my transition. I don't know, I'd probably have had my surgery already. I'd have I'm just kidding. But they'd be bigger. I don't know. I'm such a loser. But if only, you know? Like it's not like I can go back in time, so yeah. Oh, before I forget, in between topics, um, MTV is doing a casting call. They wanted us to kind of let you guys know about it, our fans. So MTV is doing a casting call, and they're working with the It Gets Better project, and they want people in the LGBT community to kind of do It Gets Better, like give their kind of story. Um, it sounds pretty cool. I am going to post a link to the site, to like the article about it, so you can definitely check that out. It sounds pretty cool to me, so go for it. Okay. Did I finish everything in that topic? I do believe I did. What else would I tell myself? I'd tell a younger version of myself, and this isn't even like me back when I was a kid. This is me maybe 2-3 years ago, to not let it get in the way of my education and like not let this control my life. Like I mean, right now I'm in a situation where I'm doing my transitioning, yes, but I'm not in school at all. And I have a part-time job where at least for half the year I get pretty bad hours. So I mean, I kind of let my transition get in the way of the rest of my life. The reason I was in college, and like also in high school, I was still a pre-transition, but I knew it. I knew I was trans. I kind of accepted it around the age of 16. So, but it still kind of affected high school. And in college, I was in college, and I was I was starting my transition around that time when I was starting college. I'd maybe been living full time as a female for a few months when I started college. But my being trans was part of the reason I dropped out. I just kind of couldn't handle it. Like I felt like I was kind of a freak and an outsider. But you gotta let this thing not get in the way of all that. Like I mean, if I were still in college, I would. What month is it? It's October. So I'd be in my 3rd semester, and the program I was in is only 4 semesters. So be more than half done school right now, and who knows, by this time next year, I could have a job in a fashion magazine or something. I have no idea, but I dropped out, so I plan on going back to school, but as you may know, I plan on being a shoe designer, specifically shoes, at least at first. I might go into clothes, but I want to start off with shoes. Shoes are my passion. Um, so I'd want to go to school specifically for that. And I've done research. There aren't very many schools that do a shoe design program. The closest one that I found was, I don't remember exactly which university, but it's a university in New York. So for that to happen, I'd have to be an international student. Because I know the distance between Toronto and New York is really not that bad. It's a couple hours drive, like 4 or 5. But still, I would be considered an international student because I'm Canadian, and New York is, of course, in America. But so that means it would be a shitload of money. So for now, I'm pretty much just working and saving up, and also I have to upgrade my high school credits from college level to university level. But yeah, that's the plan. And that's pretty off topic, but you get what I'm saying. Like, don't let this get in the way of the rest of your life. It can be hard, but you really can't. Like, you have to be extremely brave. Um, yeah. So that's finally the end of question 1. And the second question, this week's topic, is does it get better? That's to go along with the MTV casting call, the It Gets Better project. So, this week's topic is does it get better? It can take time, but I think for the most part it does. 100% of the time, no, because like what is great 100% of the time? Like it really depends on your own situation, but I think pretty much pretty much all the time it would get better. Because I know from the place where I started, I was in a bad place then. Um, like when I kind of there was the time where I was kind of hiding that I was trans for myself. I deep down I knew I was, but I was not admitting it to myself, and that lasted years and years. And I was kind of fake happy then, I think, with who I was. But then around the time when I just knew that I was trans, but before I did anything about it, but like while I was still in the male body, I was kind of like I was in a bad place. I was depressed. The like coming out to my parents sounded it was the scariest thing possibly ever to me. The idea sounded better to me that I would run away and kind of live, I don't know, stupid little 16-year-old ideas. Run away, live in California for a decade, do my transition, and come back and reunite with my family and be like, oh, this is me now. Look at me. That sounded better to me than telling them that way. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna transition. But, you know, people don't do that. Every stupid little teenager thinks shit like that, but no one ever, well, people do it, I guess, but, you know. From there, it has gotten better. I still have a long way to go, of course. Like, it'll be a couple more years before I'm where I want to be. Um, like, I'm happy with who I am. I'm who I want to be now, but there's still more to go. Like, I'm in a place now where I would like to wear skirts and dresses and, like, girly things like that, but I don't. Like, I dress pretty tomboyish. I'm wearing jeans and tank top right now. And a cardigan. Because I don't feel that I look pretty in things like dresses and stuff. Um, in my opinion, I know there are lots of girls with shorter hair and small boobs, but in my opinion, I just need those things. I need bigger boobs before I can wear that shit. I need longer hair before I can wear that shit. I need to fix my voice. There's just a lot of personal changes I still have to make, and there's a lot of money I have to raise. So not only go to school, but also to afford my surgery, and then I'll be where I want to be. Um, but yeah, for me it has gotten better, and I would think for the most part it does. For the most part, again, not 100% of the time, but 99. Like I guess there's always the odd one out, but I don't know. For generally it does. Like yeah. Okay, so this is Zara Harley for Trans Youth Channel. Comment, subscribe.